Mario Party is a game of skill and luck. Mostly luck, but there's definitely a skill aspect of it that's crucial for winning. Minigames are the main source of income in Mario Party, and the games become incredibly difficult if you happen to lose all of them. In this video, I wanted to challenge myself and see if I can win at Mario Party Jamboree without winning any minigames. Since there are a lot of minigames that are dependent on luck rather than skill, I laid out a couple of rules for myself. Number 1. If I win a minigame based on luck, such as a 1v3 minigame or a random chance minigame, I must deduct the amount of coins won at the end. Number 2. If there is a minigame where there is no definitive winner, coins are fair game. With that being said, let's get into the challenge. For my first attempt, I decided to choose Goomba Lagoon as the board because I believe the coin Goombas at the volcano would be useful and probably my main income. I set all the CPUs to master difficulty since I believe in a proper challenge and started the run. For my initial position, I rolled a 4, which put me in second place. I would have preferred first, but second is fine as well for this board. We each got our 10 coins and started the game. Spike went first, rolling a 6 and landing on a lucky space. On my turn, I got a 3 and also landed on a lucky space and got a custom dice. The custom dice is one of the best items in the game, I would argue just behind the payday triple dice and the golden pipe obviously. Goomba's and Ninji's turn were uneventful, landing on a lucky space and item space. The first minigame was Trampoline, which was pretty easy to self-eliminate. I traveled left and Yoshi went flying. Spike ended up winning, which put him in a favorable first place. Starting turn 2, Peach made an appearance, but I like to avoid her minigame since I can't win it. Spike used his double dice and got 2 7s, giving him an additional 10 coins. This kind of lead is astronomical in the early game. He already has enough to buy the first star, and he made it to Boo, stealing from second place, which is Ninji. On my turn, I rolled a 4, which was just enough to use the zipline and make it onto the little island in the center. This island is great for high tide because it only has lucky spaces, which is great to farm coins and items. Goomba used his turn to buy a custom die and got his money back on the lucky space. Ninja used his mushroom and chose to land on a red space, definitely an interesting strategy. The minigame was double coins, which was super unfortunate since I can't win it. At least I got to take Goomba down with me by being the worst possible teammate this game has ever seen. On turn 3, Spike reached the top of the volcano and activated the golden Goombas, and got his second star while he was at it. His run is ridiculous. It's only turn 3 and he already has 2 stars and more coins than me and Goomba combined. At least he landed on a red space. On my turn, I'm able to take advantage of the lucky spaces by being stuck on the island, now joined by Ninji because of the high tide pulling him in. The minigame was a 1v3, meaning I had to rely on my teammates to win. I eliminated myself as fast as I could and watched as Spike fail to eliminate Goomba, earning me 10 unusable coins per the rules. Going into turn 4, Spike gets a lot of money, and I get a plunder chest which could be useful if someone ends up with a gold pipe. Goomba and Ninja do their respective turns, and we start the next minigame, Treasure Divers. I could only watch as the rest of the players got money, as apparently Yoshi can't hold his breath very long. In turn 5, Spike landed on a versus space, which was the worst possible space for me. I'd rather take a Bowser space since in a versus, I lose coins and everyone else gains. The minigame was Domination, which I obviously lost, but it could have been worse as the entry fee was only 5 coins. Spike pulled out another win, which propelled him further into first place. It was here where I realized the gap was getting pretty drastic between me and first, and I would have to start making some risky moves if I wanted a chance of winning. I placed a Star Steel trap and prayed I wouldn't hit the Bowser space. Goomba landed on a random time space, which got me nervous since Yoshi was chosen, but I luckily gained 3 coins from the space. I would have preferred to take stars from Spike, but at least I didn't lose anything. Ninja landed on my Star Steel trap, but nothing happened as he didn't have a star. I happened to win the Gatekeepers minigame by pure luck, which by the rules of the challenge I now found myself with 10 coins that I couldn't use. After the minigame, it was turn 6, which meant we were in the home stretch. I got to pick the special event and decided to double everyone's coins as I believed I could steal stars with Spike from the extra money. Spike luckily landed on a Bowser space, and thankfully Bowser took a star from him, which put us on an almost equal playing field. I rolled a 5 and purchased a gold pipe from the shop. Goomba decided to take a star from Spike using Boo, which was great since that left him broke and left Spike without a star. The next minigame was a 1v3 and I sacrificed myself to Spike, which ultimately cost our team the win. Going into turn 7, I was starting to get nervous as I was in 4th place, however things could still work out for me. Spike stole a star back from Goomba using Boo, leaving him with only 50 coins. I used my gold pipe as nobody was close to a Boo space, and I didn't want to risk Spike getting the star since he was closest to it. This move put me in 1st place, which meant the AI would automatically select me if they passed through Boo. Goomba purchased a dual glove, which would be horrible for me since I can't win minigames, and purchased a star, leaving him with 7 coins. Ninja made an interesting decision and stole the dual glove from Goomba, which made me extremely paranoid since a dual minigame with Ninja would leave me flat broke. Just like the last minigames, I ran straight off the map to come in 4th. Ninja won, which would make the dual glove even more devastating. Spike purchased a dual glove, which only added more fuel to the fire, and got a custom dice from a lucky space. I figured I would have to try and steal the dual glove from Ninja so he didn't use it on me, but I got his custom dice instead. I felt like hope was lost since I would lose both my money and star after Ninja dueled me and passed through the boo space. This got even worse when Goomba landed on a gold block. Although this might seem unlucky, this was actually the best thing that could have happened. Goomba ended up getting another star, putting him into 1st place, which meant the AI would choose him to use the dual glove on, sparing me from losing all of my money. Ninja won the duel, which gave him a whopping 64 coins. He didn't buy a gold pipe from the store, which I thought was an interesting decision. However, the AI must have known that he would land on a gold block, thankfully only giving him coins. As per the rules, I was allowed to collect coins from this minigame since there technically is no winner. I went ham trying to get as many as possible, for my means of obtaining coins were already pretty limited. I got 14 coins, which kept me in a good 2nd place. If I was going to win, I would need to steal a star from Goomba. Spike dueled Goomba and won, which basically bankrupted Goomba. I used the mushroom to make it over halfway to Boo, which was lucky as rolling too low would have lost me the game. I skipped over the gold pipe as I wouldn't be able to use it if I was going for Boo. The next minigame went the same as the others, with me coming in 4th. Going into the final turn, I used my custom dice to go through Boo. I made the decision to steal from Goomba as I pretty much had lost anyways. Regardless of who I had stolen from, Ninja would be the winner since he could steal from me in 2nd place. He takes my star and I end the game in 3rd place behind Spike and Ninja. I was so close. If Ninja hadn't stolen from me, I would have won. Since I felt it was possible to win, I decided to try my luck on another board, that being Rainbow Galleria. Going into the 2nd game, I wanted to adjust my strategy to just barely be in 2nd place by the last turn so I wouldn't get hit by Boo again. I ended up rolling into 1st place, which is great for this board. I land on a lucky space and get a warp box, which is super useful for Boo on this board as everyone else will be behind me by the point I pass through him. The first minigame was Cold Front, so I jumped off the side as quick as I could. Donkey Kong ended up winning the minigame, which put him into 1st place. I started to make my way across the board and fill in the stamps, as they would be a great source of income if I filled enough of them in. The next minigame was Scarousel, which was super easy to come in 4th. Rosalina won, which landed her into 1st place. Mario appeared on the board, which is not ideal for me since I couldn't win his minigame. I used my payday double dice, which was huge and granted me 13 coins. I decided to tank the unlucky space because I would be passing through Boo and could use my warp box next turn to switch with someone behind me and go through Boo again. I stole coins from Donkey Kong since he had a double dice and would be closest to Boo. I ended up losing 5 coins to Spike, but ended up with enough to be in 1st place. This wouldn't last long, however, as Rosalina landed on a versus space, which cost me 15 whole coins, completely undoing the Boo space I had landed on. Everyone else won the minigame, which gave them 13 coins. The minigame for this round ended up being a 2v2, so I would have to sacrifice Donkey Kong in the name of the challenge. All he could do was watch as I never selected a shape. Going into next turn, I decided not to use my warp box so I could get closer to the Boo space in a future turn. Donkey Kong landed on the Bowser space, and I was worried he would land on Bowser's Shuffle. Thankfully, he got 15 coins stolen from him instead. Between me and Bowser, he can't catch a break. Spike decided to skip over Mario in favor of an item space, and a bonus minigame started. I got the opportunity to screw over Donkey Kong again, and he could only watch as I decided not to move. Again. After a long time of waiting for the minigame to be over, it was finally time for the flash sale. I used my double dice and landed on the gold store where I could buy gold pipe for half off. This was great because everybody was about to pass through Boo and could steal a star from me, so I decided to hold off on using it. To my surprise, Rosalina decided to go down the escalator instead of heading to Boo and got hit with a 200% markup sticker from Donkey Kong. Since Spike was in 1st place, Donkey Kong decided to steal from him instead of me. Donkey Kong gained a crazy amount of coins in one turn from both Boo and the lucky space. Spike used a warp pipe and landed right outside of Boo and stole 15 coins from Rosalina. The flash sale ended and it was time for the minigame. Just like the other minigames, I came in 4th again. Spike ended up winning, which propelled him further into 1st place. I got to pick the event for homestretch again and decided to double blue and red spaces since the other options didn't benefit me at all. Mario thankfully left and it was my turn. I didn't want to roll past the star since I had no coins, so I used my warp box in hopes of landing on Donkey Kong's space. This plan failed, but I at least got a custom dice block out of it. Donkey Kong got a star, which put him into 1st place. The star landed in a pretty unfortunate position as I was hoping to get value by getting the star and going through Boo in just one turn. Just when my luck couldn't get any worse, Spike landed on a versus space and wagered 20 coins, leaving me flat broke. Rosalina won a crazy 42 coins from the minigame, but at least she didn't have a star. I lost the minigame and moved on to the next turn. I had to find a way to make money and fast. Donkey Kong's lead was growing too great, and I either needed to pass him in coins or steal a star. I used my custom dice to collect my stamp money and landed on a lucky space, which got me 12 coins. This was a great turn, and I was able to get 42 coins in total, leaving me just enough to buy a star and then some. Spike luckily landed on a Bowser space, which is much deserved after leaving me bankrupt, but nothing bad happened to him as he didn't have a star. The next minigame was a 1v3 against Spike, and I was able to sabotage my team and begrudgingly give Spike the win. Next turn, I rolled a 7, which got me 12 coins from the blue space. Thankfully, I didn't have to give another star to Spike. Donkey Kong landed on a lucky space, which gave him another star, totally putting a wrench into my plans. Thankfully, Spike rolled a 1 and bought a Boo Bell, so there was still a chance I could lead in coins. The next minigame was another 1v3, but Spike won for our team, so I got 10 coins that I couldn't use or count towards the final score. Bowser Jr. spawned on the second level, which was bad since Donkey Kong was really close to him. I decided to save my gold pipe for the final turn and get as many coins as I could in the event that we all had 1 star. Donkey Kong started the Bowser Jr. minigame, and I had to make sure I sabotaged him. If he won, he wouldn't be able to go through Boo twice and potentially screw me over. I didn't have to win, I just had to make sure Donkey Kong lost. I followed him around and sacrificed myself to keep him from getting points. The plan worked, and Spike ended up winning, which was great since he was far away from everybody else. Spike used his Boo Bell to steal a star from Donkey Kong, putting him in first and me in last. He doubled down and stole 10 coins from Donkey Kong. Just when I was sure victory was in my reach, Spike landed on a versus space and wagered 20 coins. This has to be some kind of record for the most amount of bad luck in a game. I lost and Spike got 50 coins for winning. This is when all hope was lost. Spike had screwed me over again, and there was nothing I could do about it. If he hadn't landed on that space, I would have won the game. I hate Spike. I hate this little green bastard. To add insult to injury, he won the next minigame, which only elevated his lead. I used my gold pipe and got my star, but the difference in coins was too great. Rosalina rolled a 10 and followed a very specific and pretty suspicious path to land on a gold block that gave her a star and took my second place spot. This also gave her first place, but Spike quickly regained his spot. I lost the final minigame and in turn lost the challenge. There were a lot of points in this challenge where luck seemed to be the final decider. If things had worked out better in the final turn, I could have easily won the game. If everybody didn't land on literally every single versus space, maybe I would have had enough coins to pull ahead to first place. Although this challenge was not a success, it was still incredibly fun to think of a strategy to try to maximize my coins and try to pull ahead. If you guys enjoyed this video and want to see me try again, please let me know in the comment section below. I would also greatly appreciate it if you liked the video and subscribe, and of course, thank you for watching.